Celtic comfortably playing it out. Lambert, he's been allowed to travel a fair distance. Here's Maloney, can he make it 4? He can. Well, the youngster's delighted. The score, it's academic really, but he will not care. Running up to the travelling support, adding insult to injury really, because 4-0 is not a fair reflection of how the match has gone. But Celtic in the second half have been dominant, they've been clinical, and Shaun Maloney proves the point. Langfield beaten once again.
McIntyre. Again, he couldn't get it cleanly enough. Beautifully laid off there by Moravcik. No offside. And it's there. The 5th, Maloney. Brilliant run forward by the youngster. Well, he had to still put it away. It was a long run for him. That defence woefully disorganised again, but that was very cool in terms of finishing. You've really got to exploit and be quite clinical about these chances you get. He shows that he's maturing very quickly indeed. Smith is there, so is Maloney. And that's in! That's a beautiful goal. Maloney, judged to perfection. Well, there's so many adept at taking free kicks at Celtic Park, and he joins the company. He's beautifully swept in. Judgment and control, and no chance for Niemi. Celtic now taking what is a commanding lead. Well, Flogo must have realised that was going to be intercepted, and Smith away like a flash. Silla supporting. The tackle wasn't good enough. Lynch. And it's in again. Maloney. Second, and a Hearts defence ripped apart there, 4-1. And the 4 Celtic goals have been scored by the youngsters, reminiscent of the night they came here in the League Cup. and did something similar. He took that goal well. I mean, he was side on to the goal, and he had to be very precise with the way he finished, and he was. 20 minutes gone, it's all over. He might be just slightly short of the kind of pace he used to have, but as I said, he's still got intelligent play. Agat did that, looking so easy, that's it. Maloney, they ripped him apart, and there's only 4 minutes gone. Agat really has been immense, dragging defenders in his wake. Thompson, that's a decent enough ball. Maloney with a chance. He's done it. Maloney puts Celtic in the lead after a terrible blunder, right in the heart of the defence. He hit the ball into the ground. He didn't hit it all that cleanly, but it didn't matter at the end of the day, and how vital it is to score a goal and send the opponent scurrying up the tunnel to half-time with only seconds remaining.
Yeah, we see it coming from a wide area. Again, very important that we get the balls wide to Thompson. Agat's done a lot of damage on the right-hand side. They have looked nervous since the start of the game. Bad clearance, and the ball breaking to young Shaun into the ground, getting a bit of luck, but 2-1 Celtic.
Roto clears this one up again, looking for Larsson. Larsson is left, and Maloney almost in the back of Wilkie, and it's Maloney, must be a goal, it's a goal! Lee Wilkie! What a mistake from the Dundee defender. It's 4-1 to Celtic. Shaun Maloney, what a goal.
Yep, and certainly I don't think we'll be getting booed from now on, because that's another howler from Lee Wilkie. Didn't know where Maloney was, on his blind side, and the wee man tucks it away. Thoroughly deserved, because I think Maloney has been one of the bright lights again tonight. He's been buzzing across the front line, looking for every opportunity, and gets his reward. Never gives up. They're playing that high line, playing a risky game.
And Thompson's beat Mackay, cuts it inside to Maloney, it must be a goal! It is a goal! Shaun Maloney, a wonderful finish! Alan Thompson took the ball off Mackay, played it inside to Maloney, and he side-footed it beyond the reach of Speroni. It's 5-1.
There's the King going to get the ball back as well. Dundee are in for a torrid time in this last 20 minutes.
Oh, Maloney with his second goal of the night. He's on a hat-trick now, and I think he's deserved it, Tosh, for his performance tonight, Shaun Maloney.
Yeah, he has. But there's the guy, the man of the match so far. Well, I'm going to name him man of the match anyway. Early doors, Alan Thompson winning the ball, catching Dundee in the last third. Still plenty of time to get this 6 and 7.
Over, but they want a goal. I think that's what they're after. Neat little ball inside there. Maloney, done it. Beautiful little goal. Superb touch by Maloney. And the entire Celtic bench rise to their feet and applaud And that was not just the delicacy of it, but the strength of keeping possession. That's a beautiful goal indeed.
Here's Miller, short to Petrov. That pass was better. That's nicely done by Maloney. He's set back up again. He's going through. Shaun Maloney! Celtic take the lead after 11.5 minutes. And it's Shaun Maloney working with Henrik Larsson. Alan Thompson picked him out. The little touch behind him, perhaps fortunate the first touch. The second was meant. Larsson did the perfect job. And Paul Gallagher had little chance in the United goal as Shaun Maloney slotted the ball past him. Real teamwork there by Celtic.
Here's Miller. Good play from Liam Miller. Losing his balance and still doing well to keep possession and set up Larsson. Now the chance for Alan Thompson. Good save by Alan Main, but knocked into the back of the net by Shaun Maloney. Well, he got a hand to it, did Alan Main, the shot from Alan Thompson. But Maloney was quick to react. 7 minutes before the interval, Celtic go 2 up. Initially it looked as though Main's save was going to go over the top, but Maloney spotted it was just dropping down, and then went Shaun Maloney. Goal number 3 of the season for him.
So it's a free kick to Celtic. Larsson's over the ball, Maloney's behind him. In fact, it's going to be Maloney. Maloney steps up, near post, it's a goal! A wonderful goal from Shaun Maloney at Gordon Marshall's near hand post, glanced in off the post. A wonderful goal, it's 3-0.
Goalkeeper had absolutely no chance. It went right. Brilliant free kick there. Goalkeeper went into the goalkeeper's top left, right hand side. Goalkeeper stranded. I think it hit the post and the bar. Came out, hit it off the post into the back of the net. Goalkeeper no chance. Perfect free kick.
All the way across, looking for Barry McLaughlin, but he hadn't read that intention, and it's Larsson to feed Wallace, and away he goes with Petrov, Maloney and Sutton forward in this attack. It's 4 against 3 for Celtic temporarily. Great ball over to Maloney. He should finish here, and that's it. Although Chris Sutton was in an offside position beyond the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box, he wasn't spotted by the officials, and it's 4-0 to Celtic. A great break goal. And it's Shaun Maloney only on the field a couple of minutes. Who's got it?
Well, that's right, but young Wallace spotted the run from Maloney. Saw that he had plenty of room. Beautiful ball in, but Maloney, to be fair, cushioned it lovely, took his time and put it away. But a disappointing goal from a Kilmarnock point of view. They had the ball, they gave it away carelessly. But all credit to young Wallace, spotted the opportunity. And all credit to Shaun Maloney. Nice touch with the chest and dispatched the ball brilliant.
To try and get their hands on this ball. Celtic continue to pummel them. Here comes Sutton. Sutton plays it across. Maloney! Shaun Maloney gets Celtic level, but just over 9 minutes to go. Dundee United have been struggling to get possession as Celtic had kept possession so well. It was a lovely ball through. Chris Sutton held it up, and Shaun Maloney was there to push the ball into the back of the net. Maloney celebrates. Celtic are level. Celtic 1, Dundee United 1.
Maloney hugging the left touchline. Camera trying to give support outside him. Still Maloney going all the way. That's a penalty kick. Clear penalty kick. Ian Murray concedes it. Tackling with the wrong foot from the fullback position. And Celtic suddenly have an opportunity here to set up a really tough climax.
Great play from Maloney there. As you say to defenders, never tackle with that wrong foot there. Has to be a right-footed tackle, because if you get it wrong, it's exaggerated. Clear decision, easy decision there for the referee.
Shaun Maloney will take this. This gives Celtic potentially a lifeline. What a finish we'll have if this goes in. Maloney against Bathurst. Beautifully taken by the youngster.
Cool as you like from that young man.
It's his first goal since February 2004 for Celtic.
And that will do his confidence the world of good. It doesn't look like he's not scored for that period of time. As cool as you like. Gets his side back into it. Came on.
Sutton. Here's Telfer. Good combined movement here by Celtic, and here's Petrov on the run for it. Wants that ball played back into him again, and Maloney puts it away. Right on the stroke of half-time, perhaps Celtic's best move of the afternoon, all originating from deep in their own half, and eventually the typical run by Petrov, opening it up, slipped to the side there, and Maloney, well, I suppose he had several options, but that's the one that paid off.
Well, it should be a good launch pad that for Celtic, having got that early goal. Any strain, sometimes a little bit extra tension about a home match when things aren't going too well. Here's Petrov again. Let into Nakamura, that's a fine pass. Here's Beattie. Beattie's cross! Chance for Maloney! Number 2! Suddenly looks very easy for Celtic. Well, very good build-up play it was to provide Maloney with his third goal of the season.
And it's all about the passing in the last third, and a very good ball into the box. Petrov making a run, just missing it. The ball dropped at the back post for Maloney for a great finish, but it's all about the passing. Slick passing, and Celtic in full control now, John.
Yeah, the build-up play for Beattie to make that cross was excellent.
Whatever it is, he's getting it.
This is camera promising. Maloney! Deadly finish from Celtic. Shaun Maloney's 4th goal of the season. Celtic have the lead. And Falkirk's plans now are in some disarray.
Yeah, it came from the free kick on that side. Played pretty quickly. I think the Celtic players were more alert there. Camera just getting in the back. It's a beautiful ball across, just inside the 6-yard box. Great attacking play, attacking the near post, across the defender, plenty of pace on the ball, straight through the keeper's leg. For his 4th goal of the season, and Celtic's first today.
On the ball, he just could do them slightly further up the field. Petrov, great touch by Maloney, he's going to go for the shot! Brilliant from Shaun Maloney! What a goal! Expected a moment of magic. It comes from Shaun Maloney.
I'll tell you what, Paul, it's one of the best goals I've ever seen in a row from him. Absolutely outstanding. He's taking a great touch himself on the dummy. Taking it forward, it must be 30 yards out.
So easily. The goalkeeper didn't budge. I think his sign language suggests he may be blaming somebody, but look at this. Should he have got across, in any case, immaculately taken. Celtic are back on level terms in this remarkably exciting game.
Away by McGeady, that's good play now. Neatly swept through Maloney. That's a little bust by him again. McGeady, good control. Plays it inside, here's Maloney, must be this time. Penalty kick.
thrown right into Maloney there in the 37th minute. The way that ball was played between player after player, and then the referee saying that's a penalty kick. Well, there was a great deal of clamour by the Libby players about that, thinking that Strong had got in fairly enough. There it is. Shaun Maloney, his pace has been one of the most disturbing elements for this Livingston defence, and typically and appropriately puts that away. Celtic in the lead, 1-0. Wallace. Good play by Zarowski again. Evidence of good understanding. Maloney did that brilliantly. The final ball not good enough. Played to the side. Field for the penalty kick, it is. Petrov brought down. No hesitation from the referee. Cutting right across the man. Now the crowd are shouting for Keane to take this. I think Celtic will simply maintain the game plan. And it looks like Maloney will take it. An impeccable penalty kicker. Why should he change it? So it is Maloney. 15 minutes of the game gone. Celtic already 1 up. And here we go. 2-0. Simply done. And Kamanaka rocking. Presence of mind there on Petrov with that cut right across the box, producing this finale. Accurately put in. And I think at the base of it all is his coolness. That's what matters.
Continues to tick away. 3.5 minutes to play. Hartson flicks it on. Sierawski's made the little run. And another cool one back. And what's the goalkeeper going to do? He had to pounce on it. And Martin Corrigan gives the indirect free kick. There are times to be clever. That was not one of them.
Crazy defending, Martin Corrigan. Been excellent all night. You know, Graham Smith had to do that.
Yeah,
because it was
no
going
choice.
in the net. You know, just play it out for a shy or play it out for a corner kick. That's the last thing you do.
Well, the referee interprets that as a back pass, and it was directed towards the goalkeeper. Motherwell can have few complaints.
What you don't do is do it 3 minutes from the end of a semi-final.
That mistake could cost Motherwell. 6 yards separates Celtic and a place in the CIS Insurance Cup final. Is it a charge? Is it a blast? Will somebody just knock it into the top corner? It's almost impossible for Motherwell. Hartson plays the ball back, the shot in! Shaun Maloney scores! You have to say that Motherwell brought it on themselves, but Shaun Maloney was clinical, and Shaun Maloney looks to have fired Celtic into the CIS Insurance Cup final.
I don't think it was just a blast either. I think it played a lot of pace in the top corner. Really good finish, but I tell you what, you've got to feel for Motherwell. They've dominated the game. He has his side footed it with pace in the top corner. Fantastic finish. You seldom see these going in, Paul, but you know that one deserves to. It's a great finish. Great finish.
Well, 11 Motherwell players inside the 6-yard box turned and watched in disgust. The net ball since Shaun Maloney, 9 for the season.
Flick on from Petrov. Zarowski holding it up for Lennon. That's Telfer. Zarowski's onside this time, no doubt about that. Dublin waits in the middle. Maloney's joining him. So too is Petrov. That's from Maloney. Oh, that's a classic by Maloney. Sheer brilliance.
What a technique that is, absolutely delightful. He's put his socks off this afternoon, got up there with the support, and that is a top quality finish. We say players concentrate, strikers concentrate more when they get tired on the finish. This is a boy full of concentration. What a technique that is. The goalkeeper, absolutely no chance whatsoever. Zarevsky with the ball up there, just hanging it up. Bang.
Well, I didn't think we'd see a contender to match Jim Hamilton's volley against Celtic at Fir Park a few weeks back, but that's certainly one.
Nakamura leading the not the merry dance. Telfer through for Keane. Great run from Roy Keane into the danger area. Clark played it off Diamond, and Shaun Maloney scores, and it's all over now for Aberdeen. Great work from Roy Keane, massive credit to him, but Aberdeen should have dealt with that. And the ricochet worked well for Maloney, who makes it 11 for the season for him after Keane's set-up work. Clark and Diamond made a mess of it, and it was on a plate for Maloney to stroke home Celtic's second goal in the 75th minute, and the leaders are now surely out of sight.
Petrov now to Maloney. Maloney's quick enough, and it has to be tackled well. So very good block by Simon Brown. Penalty kick's been given. Referee Freeland has given a penalty there for the challenge on Shaun Maloney. That is surely controversial.
Yeah, it was a late whistle. I think he was looking to see what came from that tackle, if there was any advantage. Yeah, you look at that, it catches the back of Shaun Maloney.
That's a penalty, all right. No doubt about that.
Whittaker, who the man was, who lost the ball in the Celtic half, was chasing back. He just caught the back of Shaun Maloney's leg there. Good decision there from the referee.
Shaun Maloney has already scored 3 penalties this season. Stephen Whittaker yellow carded after that. Wow, what a lifeline now for Celtic, having been second in the match so far. Maloney can now equalise. Excellent penalty by Shaun Maloney. Celtic are in level terms, and Hibs must wonder just how that's happened.
That's happened because that young man has got the guile, he's got the pace, he's got the confidence. When he gets free, he's going to attack the space. It's a super, super penalty. High to the right for the goalkeeper, top corner. But you give that man half an inch or half a yard in which to run into, he will run into it.
Shaun Maloney steps up. Shaun Maloney wins the cup for Celtic with their second goal. He scored the winner in the semi-final. He's got the crucial goal in the final. Lovely free kick from Shaun Maloney, and the celebrations can begin.
Goal scorer for Celtic, number 29, Shaun Maloney.
Just an outstanding free kick from an outstanding young player who's Nakamura and Maloney have lit up this final at times. And great free kick, and Al McGregor's got no chance. And you know, Maloney thoroughly deserves his goal.
Shaun Maloney scores for the 8th time in the League Cup. It's only his 10th appearance. Perfectly struck free kick from Shaun Maloney, and there's the reaction of Gordon Strachan and Gary Pendry.
Getting the ball in the right place. Shaun Maloney did it in the CIS Cup final at Hampden, and he's done it again, like clockwork. In the 79th minute, Shaun Maloney surely seals the points for Celtic with his 14th goal of the season. He's a strong contender for Player of the Year. It's not been his best night, but he's having a superb season. And this is top class. You just know what he's going to do, but can you stop him?
Dorado goes across to question that. It won't make any difference, it never does.
Well, that's as soft as they come. There's a little bit of a tug there. The arms are straight up in the air, pleading with the innocence there. Kenny Clark is looking right at it there. Yeah, got his shirt right in front of the referee. And that is a penalty.
Well, the only possible argument about that, Craig Strong's booked for protesting, but the only possible argument would have been had Dublin committed the infringement first. He did have an outstretched left arm, which maybe Dorado was trying to cope with. Here's Maloney now with a penalty kick. Very accurate with these normally. And he certainly had one saved against Hibs recently, but apart from that, he scored against Rangers, scored against Livingston on Boxing Day, and scored against Kilmarnock, so his record's good. 3 out of 4 so far this season. Referee Kenny Clark insisting no one in coaches here as Maloney takes on Mackenzie. 2-0 to Celtic.
With the aplomb that man is playing with it at the moment. Scotty Mackenzie absolutely no chance with that. Normally puts it to the keeper's right, as he did with his first one at Hibs. The second one he missed was in that corner, but elected to switch today. The super penalty, keeper down to his right, ball popped into his left.
Well, it's 5 out of 6 in fact, because when he missed one against
does well. Gets the ball into the centre, Mackie lays it off and Stewart couldn't get there before McManus did. And Stephen McManus not only gets it away, but he puts in Shaun Maloney, who's got the better of McNaughton. Maloney with a shot and a goal! Shaun Maloney makes it 2-0 to Celtic. 61 minutes into the game, and from one end, with Aberdeen posing a threat, the ball was swept down to the other. Maloney got clear and made absolutely certain with a finish. His 16th goal of the season, and one surely now that will wrap up the points for Celtic here at Pittodrie on the last day of the season. Maloney, who's played such an important part in Celtic's season, finishes it off with some style.
Samaras, a rather obvious target for Boritz. Brown up against Hamill. He's got support from Wilson, and Samaras still there. Brown again, and Maloney! Shaun Maloney pounces inside 5 minutes. It's just what Celtic needed after that old firm trouncing. The champions are in front. Maloney is scoring again in the SPL.
Yeah, Celtic are certainly bouncing back. It's Brown in that wide area. He does so well. He feeds it Samaras, he goes again, he just gets a bit lucky here, but look at that for a ball. First class, and Maloney tucking in from the left-hand side. And the ball comes in, it just evades Scott McDonald, but look, Maloney on hand where he should be, and he finishes it well with his left foot, but it's all about the pass. Smith's got no chance, he can't come for that one, can't get there quick enough.
Here is Invincible. Almost tripped there by Samaras, but Celtic can launch a raid. Maloney. Naylor. He's got away from Fowler twice, but then came up against Pascali. Nakamura for Brown. It's crowded on the edge of the box, but it broke for Maloney! He's made amends pretty quickly for his penalty miss. A tiny finish from Shaun Maloney, and Celtic are in front.
Isn't that a typical striker? Take the more difficult one, because that one was so much more difficult than the penalty. Celtic again working around the box. Kilmarnock can't clear. Jan Fedorov Hesselink gets a foot in, and then at that point it drops for Maloney. He doesn't even think about it. It comes so instinctively. It's natural. Bend it in that top corner. Brown with a forward pass, a scramble, and there you go. Alan Combe, absolutely no chance with that one. A very high quality finish, and 1-0 Celtic.
A breath of fresh air since he returned to the club from Aston Villa. It's Hinkle then to float it in, and a good fist away by Ballock, although it's returned by Shaun Maloney, and Celtic have found a way to goal early on. It fell invitingly to Maloney. Invitation accepted. Celtic in front already.
Bang on in. It was an invitation, but what a difficult one to take. I don't think the goalkeeper does too much wrong there, but Maloney's in right into it. He can see it coming, Maloney. He reacts quickest, and I'll tell you what, just to be able to do that on the half volley, puts a little bit of curl on it, he caresses it in, he still gets the power, he keeps it down, and he avoids a whole number of players in there. What a top-class finish that is.
It's Nakamura again, good ball over the top for Maloney, he's onside and scores! Shaun Maloney gives Celtic the lead. Some incisive play inside the final third. Finally counts for Celtic. Well converted by Maloney, but well executed by Nakamura. Very well timed run by Maloney. Got in behind the two centre halves, and the finish was exquisite. Across the face of Ryan Essen and into the far corner. Shaun Maloney's fourth goal since returning to Celtic.
Nakamura. Hooked on by Brown. It's Wilson. And Vieira got a touch. But Maloney scores. That's what Celtic needed to lift the crowd here from their gloom.
I think it's Scott Brown there that plays Wilson in. Keeper has a nightmare there. I think he's played that in really, really fast though. You don't really see it until late, and Shaun has the simplest of headers.
Donati. Good control shown by McDonald. Splendid play. This is McGeady. Hinkle going outside him. Played in well there by McGeady. Well, that's brilliant play from Celtic. Shaun Maloney with goal number 2. St Johnstone simply had no answer to that wonderful piece of play again from Celtic. Outstanding attacking play. Alan Main was helpless. Well, with Scott McDonald's initial contribution was so important. McGeady setting up Hinkle. Look at the space he had there, Maloney, for that bullet header. Great delivery by Hinkle. Superb header by Maloney. And it's 2 for Celtic. And St Johnstone on the ropes. Once again, a goal of genuine quality. Methodical, studied play from St Johnstone. Morris at the heart of it again. Difficult pass to deliver. Interception made by Brown. Now St Johnstone a little bit exposed. This is Maloney. May go all the way himself here. Such a clean strike of the ball, Maloney. Again, sparks off the celebrations in the stands. Excellent third goal. One error in midfield by Jody Morris, the pass towards Granger, but Brown intercepted, and Maloney did everything else himself. Should never be allowed to come into a shooting position like this. He is so deadly in that position, and that's another fine finish for Celtic. Well, just what St Johnstone were anxious to avoid. An early goal in the second half. Maloney has provided just that for Celtic.
McDonald again has given Celtic something extra since coming on. Now Shaun Maloney and Gallagher. A smart stop by Paul Gallagher. It's come to Scott Brown. McDonald just getting his head onto it. Now Maloney! Perfect! A delightful goal by Shaun Maloney. Scott McDonald was close to Gallagher as well. It was Maloney's shot initially. Celtic are on the way to 3 more points.
Well, just at a time when, you know, St Mirren looked like they were going to get themselves back in the game, when St Mirren had an excellent chance with Dargo, and you can see what he wants to do here.
Shaun Maloney. He just opens his body out. The left-hand side of Gallagher goals is open. The little bender, it's on all day. And he's only just had one, you know, a minute or so ago. He was saved by Gallagher, but this time he wasn't to be thwarted. His one hand contracted. McDonald didn't spot it, completely turned the other way. And his big strike partner wasn't at all pleased.
Scott McDonald is tumbling to the ground, has it again here. Andreas Hinkel, it's Shaun Maloney! It's a cracking goal for Celtic! Superbly executed. And what a fine finish by Shaun Maloney. First time they have truly threatened, and they find themselves in front at New Douglas Park.
Well, we've spoken about, you know, the lack of goals from midfield in terms of central midfield, but in all fairness, the wide guys, McGeady and Maloney, have chipped in this season, and once again at a critical time in a match that hasn't really settled, and possibly because of the conditions. I think he does brilliantly here, because a good ball in from Hinkel, and then bearing in mind the conditions, it's swirling around, it's very blustery, he's backing away from goal. Technically, that is an excellent goal. First shot from Celtic. First shot goes in the back of the net.
Kyle threads it through for Brown, it's missed. Picks it up at the second attempt for the Celtic captain. Plays it to Fortuny, good ball. Needs a good pass, it's along the 6-yard box. It's missed, Maloney! It's a goal for Celtic! And it's no more than they deserve. Kyle almost scored with a shot off the bar. Samaras was blocked, but then a wonderful pass from Brown to Fortuny across the 6-yard box. And Maloney managed to get on the end of it for his first league goal of the season. It's Celtic 2, St Mirren 0.
Well, it's no more than we deserve, Paul, and it's no more than they deserve as well, because they had several chances to clear their lines and just really get the ball right up over the halfway line to be able to bring everybody back up to that area, and they didn't do so, so that's where you get punished.
And what about that shot for Berham Kyle?
Yeah, it was a very fine effort, wasn't it?
To Ledley, now to Forrest. Celtic, Murphy in the centre circle. Murphy cuts inside. Maloney stayed onside, and Maloney's onside. The referee, his assistant's kept his flag down. Maloney goes beyond Kello. It must be a goal. He scored. Shaun Maloney. He stayed onside. It was Murphy again. It was a great run from Maloney. The linesman kept his flag down correctly, and Maloney rounded the goalkeeper. And with 1 minute to go until half-time, Celtic leading by 2-0. Shaun Maloney, who's looked devastating through the middle since the start of the season. Murphy again. Well, he's just right in line with the Hearts' central defence. Maloney did well, skipped past Kello and knocked it into the back. A good finish there from Shaun Maloney. And Celtic with the second goal that Neil Lennon will be so delighted about. Darryl Murphy, the provider again. This time it was Shaun Maloney. He almost scored about 60 seconds beforehand when James Forrest's pass was just slightly overhit, but there can be a few better times to score than just before half-time.
And I would say in terms of possession, it's now dominant for us.
Key curls it into the box at the far post, looking for Mastodanovic. It's Maloney! And Maloney from a yard out has buried it! Jim Craig predicts it. Celtic score it. It's Celtic 1, Hamilton 1.
Well, you could feel the momentum building up. We were getting more and more possession, mainly because the air passing was going a bit adrift in the middle of the park, and they were not getting over the halfway line. So
it's a goal for Celtic, the scorer, Shaun Maloney.
Well, in some respects, it's a similar goal to Hamilton's, because it was a ball to the far post, and the biggest man in the Celtic team wasn't marked. He headed into the danger area, and there was the smallest man in the Celtic team just to dive in ahead of Czerny and deliver his third SPL goal. Well, the two players stand over the ball. The referee on the edge of the D blows the whistle. Maloney steps forward and curls it into the back of the net, and a glorious goal from Shaun Maloney, and it's Celtic 2, Hamilton 1.
Yeah, very well taken. I'd like to see the wall from behind the goals, because they seem to be able to strike it very, very cleanly and get it well past the keeper. You know, we can't see, we're sitting at an angle, but certainly the execution was fine, and it says it's a good distance for him. Yeah, well, I think the keeper is out of position there, to be quite honest, Paul. He's put the ball there, and he's also standing behind the wall at the same time, which means that there is a big gap at the far side, but that's not our problem.
Well, I'm giving all the credit to Shaun Maloney with that textbook finish. We know he works so hard in these free kicks every day at Lennoxtown.
Brown.
for Izagiri. Stokes putting it through for Brown. Wilson and Shaun Maloney pops it in. It has been a second half stroll, an absolute romp for Celtic, who are eyeing the Scottish Cup for the first time in a while.
Well, they've had so much joy in that inside left channel second half. This time it's Scott Brown who makes the run into the channel. Nice little reverse here from Stokes. Brown doesn't get a chance to get his head up. He's just feeding it into an area where he's hoping there's a back post runner. Mark Wilson, I guess, is trying to score here. And it takes a nick off somebody front post, and, well, Shaun Maloney can't quite believe his luck. Stevie Smith, it comes off. One touch enough for Shaun Maloney. And Aberdeen's misery well and truly complete now.
Relatively young men as well,
kids, to be quite honest. Yeah.
We've gone just over 7 minutes here at Celtic Park in the second half, and the Celtic fans applauding that tribute. Shaun Maloney in the edge of the box. He's already had one chance to score. Shaun Maloney, what a goal from Shaun Maloney. He shaped to shoot. He jinked onto his left foot and fired it into the back of the nets. And that's 3-0 Celtic. Good goal from Shaun Maloney.
Excellent goal. Took it well, just raced forward, saw it in the Motherwell defence. Had spread itself a wee bit, so there was a space right through the middle, and he just went for it between the two central defenders, pulled it to the left-hand side, and then had the shot over the keeper. Excellent. This is what the manager has brought him on for, and that gives him a headache for next week.
Well, I think even with Chris Commons being suspended, he's still probably in pole position, because I think he's 14 goals since January. He does give you something there.